with Joseph Skoda, G.I. Joe Skoda. And I've got a little something I want to talk to you a little bit about. You ever have those coworkers that are happy all the time, regardless of what happens around them? They could have lost a loved one, their pet could have died, they could have, I don't know, their car could have been in an accident, but they come into work and they're always in a great mood. Always in a great mood. It's rarely you can even find them with a frown on their face. And then we got those other people who are constantly in a bad mood, constantly negative. When you ask them good morning, they always say, "What's so good about it?" You know those people too? We have both of those kind of people in society. I want to ask you, which one are you? Are you always in the good spirits, always uplifting other people? Or are you always kind of not necessarily tearing people down, but avoiding others? And not looking at the silver lining, but looking at the, I don't know, black lining or negativity that can go on around us rather than the positivity? Can you be both? Or are we stuck in just one level of what we're doing? And I think it all has to do with our mindset, or probably more importantly, the people we surround ourselves with, because they kind of can make us feel positive and good about ourselves, or they can just do the opposite, whatever, the opposite effect, where we're negative all the time. Now, I'm part of the social media shows network, and you know that. That's where you found me in the office, and we're doing a lot of great things. And some of our shows talk a lot about religion and how God has affected us in a good way. And some people talk about music and how that's affected them. And we're all talking about what kind of makes us tick, but often there's a gray area in the background that we don't always see because we always want to show, what do we say, our best foot forward. We always want to show we know what we're talking about. We always want to sometimes pretend or put on a fake self and let the world know that life is great and nothing can hurt us. Well, let me show you a little something I believe very strongly. I believe very strongly. How you like that one? See that? Which eye is which? I believe we can be upbeat all the time, smiling, see the grass is greener all the time. We can see the silver lining. Our eyes are wide open. We don't have to pretend anything. We can just see everything is going to work out well. We're going to be positive. Or we can always have the shaded glasses on, the dark glasses, always hiding, always pretending maybe something we're not, always expecting something negative to happen in our lives. But I think deep down inside, we're a little bit of both. At least we start off that way. I think we're all positive and have a smile on our faces, at least early on in life, unless we had a poor childhood, of course. And I think that's where the negativity comes into place sometimes, where we put on that facade and we try to hide who we really are because of our experiences. Because maybe we got beat up, we got challenged, we were told you're not good enough, you can't do that, you're not smart enough, you can't run fast, you can't play basketball, all of these other things. So we often not just feel bad deep down inside, but we look at negativity even in those around us, even in those people around our coworkers, our neighbors, our family. Now it's okay to have those bad days and maybe even have a short pity party and to say, woe is me, life isn't fair. We can all go through that process for a little while, especially when someone dies, we have to have that mourning process. And if you lose a job, you lose a pet, you lose a best friend, whatever it is, it's still a mourning process we have to go through. But eventually you have to, get out of this negative and come back over and say, okay, that was a learning experience. Learning experience. What can I learn from it? How can my life be better today? I can buy a fancy hat like I do, and I wear quite often. I think this is the one my son bought me on Father's Day a few years back, and I never wore a hat when I left the military. But one day he just bought this fedora for me. I just fell in love with it. And now you see me wear a lot of hats. I probably have a dozen different hats today where I didn't have one 6, 7 years ago, except for the ones through my military career, because it's just isn't me. So maybe you want to find those glasses. Maybe you want to find a hat. Maybe you want to find a social media shows network where you can tell your story. You can share what you've learned and your experiences of life. You can tell us like it is. Tell us like it is, at least in your mind. But probably more importantly, we can learn from one another. You know what I'm saying? Maybe someone who was negative most of their life and then they transitioned and started seeing that silver lining. They started, they stopped that woe is me attitude. They stopped the entitlement. A lot of people think, well, you owe me this because I lost my job or I got an accident or I can no longer work and everybody owes me everything. Come on, really? We do have this brain. Even you can take the hat off. That's not the prettiest hair, but we do have a brain that we're supposed to be using, utilizing. God gave it to us, but it's up to you and I to develop it to its full potential. And when we develop our brain in a positive manner, please stay positive. Don't try to develop it and think of criminal activity and how you can get one up on the next guy. But develop your brain, your creativity, develop certain skills, maybe speaking, public speaking, maybe doing videos, maybe being a website master, maybe being the best plumber you ever can be. And put those skills into action and seeing something that you started small, but you created little building blocks and made something fly, made the water flow correctly, made the toilet flush the way it's supposed to, was able to speak in a public platform and not make a fool of yourself. Well, we can get over that woe is me negative attitude and work on self development, work on a way where we can see something good happen from what we had something to do with. It doesn't even have to be our idea, but just to be part of something big, a little cog. And deep down inside, we're all just little cogs of something bigger and greater beyond our imagination. I don't care if you have anxiety, depression, stress. We all do. Backs and pains, aches and pains. Well, you know what I mean. Some of us have it worse than others at different times, and I have it too. And I've learned to deal with those aches and pains, stress and anxiety, and feel free to reach out to me, and I'll share some of those insights on what I do to help myself have the good mindset and good attitude each and every day. But let's be a little honest here. Life isn't perfect. We are going to fail. We're going to have shortcomings. We're going to hopefully not get in an accident, but something's going to happen to us where we may lose our purpose, our sense of identity, maybe just get lost for a couple days, couple months, couple years. And we need to surround ourselves with people that can get us out of our funk, get us out of our funk, help mentor and coach us to something bigger and better. A show like this is a big help. Get your story out. But not everyone has to get in front of a camera. You can be behind the camera. You could be writing the script. You could just be taking notes and comments and relaying it to some of your own friends or co-workers to help their lives are better. Because when we help other people, seriously, when we help other people get out of their funk, trust me, the reward's right here. The reward's here. We should always look for ways to help others. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have good days. But it's up to you and I how we're going to feel about the negativity thrown at us or the positive thrown at us. We wake up every morning and we should wake up with a smile like, yes, another day full of opportunity. Another day I have a job. Another day I have a family around me. Yeah, some of our family can be knuckleheads, but they're our family. What are you going to do? Our coworkers be knuckleheads, and often they think that way about us. Have a little humor in your life. Try not to be so sensitive and take everything personal. You know what I'm talking about. The point is, we all have stressors in our lives. And sometimes we see the good, the bad, and things look a little shady and we don't quite understand it. Take a breather, step back. And even on those bad days, you can focus a little bit differently on the good. Don't be afraid to peek out from those dark shades every now and then and peek out from yourself and find out the positivity around you. Sure, some people do not want you to get ahead. That's sad. But don't you be that person pulling people back from fulfilling their dreams or their goals. Get out of the way, applaud them. If they're doing something illegal, run away. You do not need to be a part of that. Life can be great, but it's a decision you and I have to make. Have a great day. This is In the Office with Joseph Skoda.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.
Now, if you join VIP-vacation-club.com and select you want to be a platinum member or gold member, and then you email me back at allpros, ALLPROWS @gmail.com, and I will give you $100 back for whatever package you choose. You choose what you want. You choose the vacations you want to take. Once again, you get to choose your own vacations. You get to choose when and where in the world you want to go and who do you want to bring with you. And I personally will give you $100 back on your membership. Get VIP-vacation-club.com.
Hi, my name is Maria Pureza Leventhal. I am the founder of Social Media Show.
Hi, I'm Latoria Kern, founder and director of Family Arts at Wayla's Creation.
Hi, my name's Dolly Wright, and I'm a singer.
This is Bettina Steinhauer. I also am a clothing designer.
My name is Dolores Olson,
and I'm a home-based business person for DJ.
Hi, my name is Jessica D, and I currently work for one of the biggest properties on the Strip.
Hello everybody, I am Kiki Dolas. I am the CEO of Are You It Entertainment here in Las Vegas.
Hi, my name is Dawn Weir. I'm the founder of The Giving Water, a local nonprofit that delivers water to disasters and people in need.
Hi, I'm Alicia, aka Catalina Winehouse with Ichigo.
Empowering girls and women is very powerful.
I am excited about empowering women for so many different reasons.
You know, we're here to discuss topics and to share topics.
And we actually have, a voice here.
Women should stand for their rights and just reach out and just let people know how they feel.
And I'm hoping, since we are 52% of the population of the world now, we can start changing the world for it to be a better place.
From a very long line of very powerful, wonderful women who believe in women's rights.
To bring certain subjects and certain subject matters to the forefront.
Everyone else is against us, so we have to stick together and we have to believe in ourselves.
But most of all, to make women stronger and love themselves more. Because when you love yourself, it's easier for someone else to love you more.
So, I want to invite you to come and watch
Honeybees.
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 A women empowerment talk show.
Women empowerment.
Honeybees Women Empowerment. And I am here to empower women every Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Social Media Shows Network, and let us bring the women together in a small but powerful talk. See you there.
Social media shows are looking for independent artists to show off to the world for a brand new show. So if you have a video ready to show, email us right now at darkmusictelevision@gmail.com. The video must be a quality of MP4, and we are accepting all genres: R&B, hip-hop, soul, blues, pop, country, rock, every and all types. So join us now and let us bring the world to you.
Hello, everyone. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Right, G.I. Joe Skoda, part of the Social Media Shows Network and other places you can find me, of course, all over social medias. But the point is, I want to talk to you a little bit about today about other people's shoes and why we often want to compare our successes or failures to other people when, quite frankly, we're on a different boat, different situation, something else comes along, and we can always compare apples to oranges. It does not always quite match up. But you and I still often look to our neighbor and look at what they're driving, or look to our coworker and look at the house they bought, or look to a brother or a sibling, a sister, some relative, and look at their successes and wonder, what's wrong with me? How come I don't have that car, that house, those vacations, some of the other things going on that other people do? Have you ever thought that way? Have you ever felt a little guilty or maybe even insecure because you feel you're not measuring up to someone else? Well, I just read something recently, and this is kind of interesting. Now, I'm an adult in my 50s. We'll just leave it there, in my 50s. And you have adults in their 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s, all of that. And even though we're adults, we're not all necessarily on the same wavelength. For instance, I read this. He's like, I think it's someone in their 60s wrote this email to someone in their 20s. Say, yeah, we're technically both adults, but we don't have as much in common. Don't talk to me like we're on the same level, the same playing field, because we're not. And it goes on to say, if you haven't had at least a dozen breakups, lost your job a few times, filed bankruptcy, homeless, whatever those things are, have kids, we're not equal. We're not equal. You're just coming out of high school, maybe going to college, maybe bought your first car or making payments, but you're not equal to someone who's been there, done that a few times. I can tell you that. Now, for instance, unless you can feel someone else's shoes, walk in their shoes, you don't know what they're thinking. And, well, these aren't my shoes, but anyways, you can understand we're not the same. And that's okay. We need to appreciate who we are and what we learned and the wisdom that we do have. And don't be afraid to ask. They keep saying that our success or who we are is kind of equal to the 5 people closest to us. If the people closest to us are not doing so well, most likely we are not also. If the 5 people closest to us have dreams and visions and are constantly doing better, we most likely will also. So it depends on the people we surround ourselves with and what we're going to accomplish. Now, getting back to this, not comparing ourselves to others. And we get that because even me and my brother, we're only a year apart. We are different people. Different people. We both have American pride big time, and we both served in the military and have different ideas about how things should work in the world. We're only 1 year apart. It's crazy. Now, like I mentioned, I was in the military. I did 21 years, and I was a Gulf War kind of guy. At the end of the Cold War, did the Gulf War. But I really cannot compare my service to Vietnam or what's going on in Afghanistan or Iraq right now. It's a different time, let alone World War II. It's a different time. Now, sure, all of us veterans have a great sense of pride and camaraderie, and we love joining organizations like the VFW or American Legion or Disabled American Veterans and so many other things. And a lot of us have anxiety and depression. Now, we deal with it a different way. Well, maybe we deal with it the same. We drink too much, take too many pills, maybe punch walls, we get angry. And we need to find a way to deal with those things, of course. But we have similar yet different experiences, and we can't put someone over there and say, all veterans are alike, all Marines are alike, all people that wear fancy shoes are alike, because we're all different. And once we learn to appreciate the differences in others, we can appreciate the differences in ourselves even better. I encourage you, myself included, to stop comparing ourselves to other people. Now, I see this. I go to the gym. I have a gym membership for the last several years. Now, I do not go every day, and I probably go 2 or 3 times a week, and sometimes a little bit more. And you'll see some people who are real physically fit. And you can tell they go there on a more regular basis than I do. And then sometimes you'll get people coming in who are out of shape, even more out of shape than I am, and often they feel intimidated. They feel like, oh, the gym's not for me. It's just for those people who are in great shape, people who've been doing it a long time, people who can lift more, do more reps, can do push-ups and all those things. And that cannot be further from the truth. Because all of us going to the gym, reading a self-development book, taking a college class, even if it's been a while, a lot of us struggle to do those things until we get a rhythm, until we get a beat, until we get something going. Just like dancing, most men cannot dance. If we're honest with each other, most of us cannot dance unless we had lessons. And sometimes our significant other can teach us the right moves and dance with us. Or more often than not, our significant other sends us away to get real dance lessons and then come back to them later when we know what we're doing. And that's okay, because not all of us are born with leadership competency anyways, or even great communication skills. We have to develop and work on those things. And if you have a job, most people starting a job, you're starting at the bottom. Right? I have a nephew. He's at the bottom at a fast food restaurant, and he's learning. He's been there a year now. A pay raise around the corner, and a little more responsibility for, every now and then, and see how he can act or react or take charge when necessary. And we have to fall down and make some of those mistakes and try to figure out who we really are. Who we really are, because sometimes we don't even know until someone says, hey, wake up. You're being stupid again. I told you that this is the way it goes. I want to encourage each and every one of you. Find a mentor. Find a coach. Find someone who has been there, done that is willing to spend a little time with you to show you the ropes, or at least steer you away from some trouble or some mistakes that possibly they made before. Because a lot of us are stubborn. We don't want anyone to tell us what we have to do. We don't want anyone to tell us, well, if I were you, this is what you should go here. Because we're stubborn. Like, oh, what do you know, old man? That's 100 years ago. You got nothing to tell me. Well, even a 100-year-old man has a lot of wisdom to pass along. First of all, they live to 100. How many of us are afraid we're not even going to make it to 60? Every one of us has value and something to give back to someone else. But we have to be open. We have to be open in our minds. We have to give people the attention that they deserve. We have to do our best to take notes, listen, and implement the things that we learn, the things we learn from each other. Every one of us has value. And how do we increase our net worth? We have to increase our network of people, mentors, coaches who can help guide, steer us in the right direction. Because the more you and I know, the more we're worth. The more we are worth, the more we can give back to others, the more value that we bring to the marketplace, to our own families, Never give up learning. Sure, if you had a mother, or father, or uncle, or older sibling keep beating you up and negative talk all the time, run. Run away. You don't need that. I don't need that in our lives. We may have been in similar shoes and similar situations, but we all act and react a little differently due to our own unique experiences. So just be careful. You need to walk in someone else's shoes, have a more evil keel to think you're an equal. Yeah, men and women should be equal on certain things, but let's be realistic. Not all men are equal to each other. Not all women are equal to each other. And even, I don't know, I'm told some parents have favoritism with their kids. I don't know if that's true or not. That's not my case by any means. But treat each other with respect, especially someone who's a little bit older, a little more experienced, someone who's been around the block a little bit longer. You may not like them or agree with some of the things they have going on, or you might say, boy, you really screwed up your life, sir, and I don't want to be anything like you. Whatever it is, we can still learn from that person and show that mutual respect. Come on, we're not going to get out of this life alive. We're going to die someday. And it's all about the relationships we build, not the stuff we collect. Not the computers, the big screen TVs. It's our experiences that we share with others, our relationships that we have. And they must be valuable, intentional relationships. Sure, sometimes our coworkers, you see them at work and you go to your own world. But if you're going to work 10, 20, 30 years with a person, try to develop a mutual friendship. You don't have to be the best of friends or go to each other's houses all the time, but maybe occasionally, let's all have a lunch or meet the other one's spouse. even if it's just once, because then you can maybe understand your coworker a little bit better if you know who they're married to, or you know their family or their situation. And that's part of, we could be the same age and act differently when we come to work because of what's going on outside of our jobs, because of what's going on in our families, because of the negativity around us. We often act slightly different. So show that mutual respect and don't think we're all equal. And, you know, you might walk in someone else's shoes, but that means their whole experience. Not just back and forth to work, not just failing at a couple businesses and quitting or succeeding or whatever. You and I have an obligation to show our best every chance we get to everyone around us. And you and I have an obligation to ask for help when we cannot show our best at that moment. We're all going to have deaths, friends and family dying. We're all going to know people either being bankrupt or losing jobs. We all know people maybe failing in business or even school. We know that. So bring out the compassion and stop pointing the finger or comparing ourselves to someone's success or lack of success because of proximity. Anyways, those are my words of wisdom today. Don't compare yourself to others because we're all a little unique. God made us unique. Embrace that uniqueness and become a better you. When you're a better you, everyone around you will become a better them. Anyways, this has been In the Office with Joseph Skoda, a great part of the Social Media Shows Network. Have yourself an awesome day. Hey, give me some words of encouragement yourself and let me know what you want to hear and give me some ideas about comparing yourself to others and how it worked and how maybe it didn't. Have yourself an awesome day. Have a great day now. Bye.